Guys, today we kind of have a bit different of a video going on. Today we are going to be going to a stocked pond, which not a lot of people fish, surprisingly. This is kind of in the middle of the city, but it actually does have some really large fish in it. I've been there quite often. There's some giant fish. I'm not going to spoil it, but if you've been on my channel before, you'll know what it is. At this time, I'm bringing out my chest mount here, so you guys are going to get some POV footage of me catching some of these giants. Okay, so what we have going on here is we're just going to take this hook right here. We're going to load it up with bread and corn. If you know, well, if you're an experienced carp fisherman, you'll know exactly what I'm doing here. I'm just going to grab some corn. I'm gonna grab some bread and mush it all into the same ball. Make it kind of like a pack bait. I don't like pack bait that much, and I find it's really hard to keep on the hook. And my rod of choice for these Goliaths is just a crappie rod. Yep. You don't need like an 8-foot rod. You don't need like a 12-foot collapsible rod with like 50-pound braid. I mean, I'm just doing a 5.5-foot crappie rod with 20-pound braid on mine. That's mainly to get distance. Okay. It should take a little bit to get a bite. I mean, it is a little bit rainy and cold, but it's not too cold. It's just a little drizzle outside. I'm just gonna take this here. Boom. Cast that out. I don't know if it fell off the hook or not, but now you just sit here and wait until a carp comes and picks it up. Literally is just an act of waiting for your line to go tight, and then you set the hook like you've hooked a boat. It's pretty much what it feels like. It feels like you're fighting a speedboat. Especially for these ones, I'll pick up the camera when I hook a fish. So I've got some bread being thrown out right here. There's some bluegill attacking it. But usually when the bluegills start biting, the carp starts showing up. And Dad, if you want, you could throw some right there by the drain where we got the other ones. Yeah, all those little pops right there, those are all bluegill. A carp might be in the vicinity, but I don't know if I have any bait. I do. Shockingly, I have bait. Okay. I would have thought the bluegills or the turtles would have taken it all by now, because they absolutely love this mixture. There's also probably a couple bass in that mix right there. Ooh, I think he's here. I saw a big dust cloud. But the carp in this pond are huge. Like, these fish are big enough to the point where they should not exist. Not like it's a bad thing, but it's like they're super big. And for some reason, I don't know if carp are supposed to jump, but I've seen a couple of them jump when you hook them, which is very concerning. I don't know if they jump regularly. Oh, got a bite. It's probably not a carp. It's probably like a bluegill or bass. Yeah, like you can kind of see my line go like, yeah, it's probably like some turtles or some bass or something. That's always a very common bycatch when I'm fishing for carp, or a very common bite. I never caught anything else while I'm carp fishing except like maybe a bluegill or two. Ooh, that was a big take. Not a bait though. I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna do a ball of bread. I'm gonna chum right there. Let's grab some bread. Actually throw a bit out because they bite super big right here. I think this right here is where I've gotten like my PB to surface. This is really good if we can get one of these. You'll see it. It looks like a giant torpedo coming on the surface to take up a piece of bread. Just gonna grab this bread and mold it onto the hook to a pretty durable ball, so that way it doesn't melt off the hook when it hits the water, because bread's very fragile. Yeah, I see a couple bluegill, but like I said, they are not my target species at all. You can see some dust kick up, so there might be one close by. Because usually whenever there's a bluegill in this pond, the carp usually show up to get some food. If you look very closely, you might be able to see a couple of them. A couple bluegill. Yeah, right there. That's a big bluegill. That's not what I want. I can definitely sense a carp here. I can sense a carp nearby. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take my bread ball and... Oh, Dad, you got a popping float with that weird bait stuff that you found?
Yeah, just give it a try, why not?
I mean, it works for catfish. I don't see why it wouldn't work for carp. They eat a lot of the same things. A lot of catfish. Yeah, bass would be pretty cool. That'd be a big bass then. Yeah, turtles in this pond are just crazy though. Like when you're fishing for literally anything, you're almost bound to catch at least one turtle while you're doing it. Getting some bites on my line, speaking of which, it probably is a turtle. Or a bluegill. Kind of get that out a little bit further. Sometimes they like to hide in the deep and wait for the bread to drift out. That's what I've also seen. Carp are very weird fish. They have weird feeding habits. If you try to get some like more out there, we might get a better odds of getting one. Those are some bluegill. Would not be surprised if there's just like a little one hiding in that little area. But I don't want a little one, I want a big one. It's not looking like it too, the water's pretty clear. I would have seen him by now. But it's just a giant, yeah, there's probably a bass in there. I've seen some bigger hits, but definitely not like how a carp eats. A carp just looks like a giant, like a human mouth, kind of. Surfacing. That's kind of what it looks like. Things get slow enough, I'll switch to a different spot where I hooked a giant carp yesterday. I really wish I got some footage of that carp from yesterday. This thing was crazy. Ooh. Thought I had something, but right there, it kind of looks like a little bit of a perch because he's got some stripes on him, but he's not a perch at all. No, it's just a chunky, hungry bluegill. Sometimes you catch these. You're trying to catch other things, most likely you'll catch those. but it's not what I want right now. Alright. So I'm kind of in the same spot, but I just took a couple steps down. I'm gonna take a cast like right here because this is where I caught the biggest and strongest grass carp I've ever seen out of this pond yet. And it was kind of like right there, maybe a little bit different spot, but it's the first carp I've ever seen like fly out of the water. So in events that I do get one, Dad's running to the truck, so I have to fight this thing and keep it in the water for as long as possible, or attempt to land it myself, which is going to be very risky because they are very, very strong fish. I think he's here though, I can't tell. But I saw something over there by where I was just standing. So I might have spooked them because they are very skittish. If you've ever fished for them before, you know what I'm talking about. Like, you could take 2 steps backwards. You couldn't even call it steps. You could inhale a little bit too hard and this carp would get scared. Oh, there's the police. Every time I'm out here, I pretty much hear that. So I'm right next to the fire department too. That's where I'm fishing. This is kind of like a community pond and like a park. Oh, giant on. There we go. Giant. Oh, he feels like a little guy. I don't know. He's not fighting too hard. But you guys heard oh yeah, he woke up. I don't know if that camera's angle is good for you guys, but there he is. It's a little carp. It's an absolute giant, but he's okay. Still a good fish. He's not fighting nearly as hard as the one I caught yesterday. He's still fighting not half bad. Okay, yeah, as soon as I go in to grab him, he's gonna get spooked. Watch. Oh, he should get spooked. Oh, I can't even grab him. Shh, too short. Yep, there we go. Regaining some life. He's hooked pretty good. Shouldn't come off, and I tied a pretty solid knot. Yeah, that's a solid carp. See, you just gotta have a little bit of patience. I told you I'd get one. Okay. Good thing these are my outdoor shoes. I can wash them. I'm gonna open my bail in case he runs. He won't tear my rod into the water, and if he does, then I can just jump in and grab it. It's like a $50 rod and reel combo if I remember correctly. Oh, there it goes. Yep, see what I said? He's gonna get scared right as soon as he's gonna get scared right as I. Yeah, he's not a bad fish. He's a good sized fish. I'm gonna tighten my drag real quick. It's a good sized one. Putting up a good fight for being so little. I've seen little fish be caught out of here all the time, like about this size. They put a pretty weak fight. Like, they just sit there the whole time. He is. So if you don't know, this is a triploid grass carp, and there's 2 different types of grass carp. I know this is a triploid because they're stocked in ponds, but I don't know what the other one is. But basically, the only difference is that a triploid grass carp, compared to a different grass carp, has like slower breeding metabolisms. So what I'm going to try to do here, but enough with the antics. It's a carp, and we just caught one in POV footage. Oh shoot, he's still going. He's still got fight in him. Oh, Dad's finally back. Hey, Dad, it's a medium-sized one, but he's got some fight. It's a bit smaller than both of the ones yesterday, but he's still hitting pretty hard. Same spot as yesterday, too. They're big. Ooh, okay. See if I can try to beach him right here. Get him up a little closer. I can probably land it on my own. I probably won't need you to grab the rod. I can land it on my own. Okay, open the bail. Put rod back here. Get in here and grab it by the tail so we can't swing it forward because they have a huge, absurd amount of tail strength. Okay. It's a good one. Look at that. Ladies and gentlemen, this right here is a grass carp. They are invasive, but this is a catch and release pond and they are deliberately stocked in here. So it is illegal to kill them. But they are very cool fish and they're less destructive than in other invasive species like a snakehead because all they do is eat plants. That's literally all these guys do is that they just eat plants. Really pretty fish. I'd say he's about 30 pounds maybe. Feels like it feels like a 20 to 30. So he's not the absolute monster we're after. The monster's a little bit bigger. He's like, I don't know, I'd say 50, like 4 or 5 feet long. He's about a 2.5 footer, maybe. Yeah, about a 2.5 footer. Good fish. All right. They are very hardy. They can survive a pretty hefty. They can survive a pretty hefty fight. They're not like a trout. They can take a beating. That's why I like them so much. They're just so cool. And see, a fish of that size put up a fight, and he almost tore my rod into the water twice. So that's some pretty good footage. I'm gonna cut this. I'm gonna rebait. Let's see if I can get another one. Rebaited with the exact same bait. It's just a lump of bread. And if any of my audience is in the UK where they like to catch carp, shouting out UK here. Very good fishermen. I respect you guys for doing what you do. I don't know if there's common carp in this pond. If there is, that'd be really cool to catch a common carp because they're way different than a grass carp. But yet again, I just love catching carp no matter what because they put up an amazing fight for being such a different sized fish compared to like a marlin or something that so many other people are catching. It is considered an invasive species, but people stock them in ponds to keep algae levels low. And you can see that there is some algae in this pond, but not a whole bunch, because there's only like 50 or 60 carp in here, and it's like 2 acres, and it's a good amount of water for 60 carp. Sometimes that size, that's like the average size for this pond. Sometimes they get pretty big. I've caught a bigger one yesterday. But he's still a really good sized fish, and they fight really hard. Especially on this. This is just a medium light proficiency crazy cool combo, and it's a pretty good rod for bass, crappie, maybe some other fish. Oh, shoot. But this is just a genuinely good rod, and this basically goes to prove that you don't need like a $180 telescopic carp rod with like 50-pound braided line to catch something that big. And I just caught it on this little 5'6" combo. But I could see if you're going for something like an 80-pounder, then I could definitely see why you would need something, why you need like a rod and line that big. All right, I'm going to stop yapping. I'm just going to get fishing. Let's see. Where do I want to cast? They like to chill in this area, but I could also see if they would like over there, because over there's a fountain. And in the wintertime, you can technically fish this because this pond is technically heated. It does have some hot water going through it at all times. When I touched the water to release that fish, water was about like 70 degrees, especially during the summer. So it's pretty good. And when I fished here during the winter, the water temperature increased. I felt that it was warmer than about 70 degrees. So I caught actually a pretty good size largemouth here in January. And he hit a spoon, like he chased it. So that means that the fish are solid. It's always got solid action here. So if I'm not catching fish, 9 times out of 10, I'll just come over here with some bread. And I'll absolutely dominate. I'll dominate the pond here with some carp. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer. Wait a little bit longer, see if I can get another one maybe. And then I'm gonna move down over there by that big fountain because that's aerated and I can definitely see why a couple of other fish. So my bait, so something took my bait. So I changed the size of it from a huge bed ball to kind of a smaller bed ball because carp, like common carp, have a bit smaller mouths compared to grass carp because grass carp got jawed mouths because they're not even part of the carp family. They're actually part of the sucker family, in case you didn't know that. No, they're not part of the sucker family. I'm thinking of common carp. They're more related to minnows. Yes, minnows, because they're jawed. They're not suckered like common carp are. Like if you take a look at the one I just caught, you'll notice that the mouth is kind of similar to like a duck. It's like a duck beak. But enough with the fishing nerd out. Let's see if I can get a couple bigger ones over here because there's typically larger fish the deeper you go. So if I'm catching fish like that big over there, then that must mean that there might be something even bigger over here. I wonder how good the recording was on that. That looks pretty solid. I haven't used my chest mount in a while. And I haven't posted in a while too because I've just been experimenting. I haven't been really posting to be serious. I've just been posting to see kind of what would happen. And now I'm kind of, I haven't many channels in the past. And I've changed my emails or I've gotten new phones. So it ends up getting rid of my channel. If a carp don't bite this, a bass will get it. That's definitely for sure. Or I'll just go back over there. That doesn't matter. I just want a couple fish. This is being recorded on my phone too. It's not a GoPro. So there is a chance that I could get a couple bass with this. Which I like bass. Don't get me wrong. But when I'm trying to catch carp, they're kind of a nuisance because they always take my bait. But when I'm not fishing for carp and I'm fishing for bass, I'll take any sized bass. As long as I get one. Adjust this. Adjust the camera a bit more. And sometimes if you're very careful with how you step, you can see them like cruising up and down the shoreline. Because they are very they're very skittish. But if you're stealthy, you can see them cruising the shoreline. Whoop. I'm gonna plop it out right there. See if I can get another one or a bass. Because like I said, I'll also take a bass. A fish is a fish. I don't care what it is. As long as it's a good fish. As long as it's not gonna hurt me. I find it ironic that it was like super stormy today, and as soon as I caught that carp, we got blue skies starting up here. I find that very ironic, but it might also be like, I don't know, it might be something else. Could just be weather forecasting. I don't know if I'll get any more fish today. I'm gonna definitely try though. I'm gonna cast kind of the same spot. Goal for this one is to try to catch a bigger one and I want a really good fight out of this one. Or when I get one, I want a really good fight out of it. I want one that's gonna make YouTube history. I'm gonna cut for a minute and wait for something to pick this up. Okay, so I just saw the silhouette of a carp swim right there. It was a little bit bigger than that one. So I'm gonna try to reel this up and cast towards it because it swam that way. I don't even know if I still have enough bait to catch another carp. Might have some more bread. But bread just seems to be the secret weapon for these things. They just absolutely love bread. Okay, that was a good cast. Now, I'm just gonna sit down, wait for someone to pick it up, just like I did last time. Bites here. Don't know if they're from some smaller carp or for some like bass or something. But there's some smaller bites. Little taps. Ooh, I had something hit that. Maybe I should probably get out of the shallows because the bass and bluegill are gonna be in the shallows. Oh yeah, they've been popping at I feel like a bass would just swallow the bread though. So they're probably just some bluegills or some turtles. But a carp will still eat that. That's not where I wanted to put it. I kind of want to put it by that Christmas tree. Okay, to kind of put where I caught that last one. Time to wait. I don't know, about like 10 minutes for one to pick it up and then I'll relocate. Come on. Oh, he's crossing your line. Reel it in. Reel your line in. We got a smaller one. Reel your line in. I don't want to get it tangled up because he's fighting pretty good. Oh, he looks solid. I could probably land him. Oh, he's even bigger than the last one. I'll go over here so there's no. Oh yeah, he's fat. Look at him. He looks healthy. A little bit, but he's fighting more. He's definitely fighting way more than the other one. I can feel head shakes with this guy. I'm gonna loosen my drag, give him a chance to get really tired. So that way it's not too much of a battle trying to get the fish up onto land just to get a photo. That's 2 carp for one video though, that's pretty good. Now I might switch to a lure and get on some bass. Or I'll get a 3rd carp, I don't know. I still have some more bread. He's kind of like the other one. He's kind of like the one we got yesterday. He's not quitting. Remember guys, all you need is just a small hook caked with bread. And that gets you stuff like this if you go into ponds. Sometimes these things are even in lakes. I've seen them in the Great Lakes. In Great Lakes, they want you to kill them though, which is kind of sad. But yet again, I could see how they're invasive because they just be eating wildlife and plants, but Oh, there's geese over there. Even they're cheering me. Oh, he's a big one. I'm feeling him now. He seems a little lighter. No, he feels a bit heavier. He's fighting more. Come on. I'm waiting for him to do another death run. Come on. I know you're gonna do it. Come on. There we go. Just my camera. I don't know how good this footage is for you guys. Actually, let's go in the 0.1. There we go. Yeah, you can see him. He's about a little bit bigger than the last one. Definitely in size. Definitely in length, but I'm not sure in weight. I don't know if he's lighter or smaller yet. Oh. Come on, get up here. I want you. Yeah, this guy's not giving up. He's getting tired. I can feel it though. He feels heavy. I'm not certain. My reel seat's coming loose. It's not coming loose. I've just been grabbing my rod a whole bunch. Don't take that out of context. Ooh, there's one of my hooks is in his mouth. One of my hooks. This is the one that broke my line a couple days ago. He's got two. I don't know if that's the other one or if that's my hook right now. Another grass carp. These things just love their bread. Okay. Open bail. Put rod down. Over here. Gonna have to get in the water for this guy. He's a bit bigger. Grab his tail. So we can't do that. Drag him up to the surface. Grab his pectoral fin. Grab right by his pectoral fins. Pop that hook out first of all. Actually, you know, I might be able to get that up. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Oh, he's definitely bigger. He's not too terribly big, but he's still a good sized fish. Nonetheless, and that was a bit. Oh yeah, look. This guy's another. I know what this one is. I know who this guy is. All right, give me a second to get all this stuff on. Get a good release on him. Well, so this is actually my friend's fish. I was fishing with him, and he's not an absolute expert when it comes to fishing, but he knows his stuff, but he knows how to get things done, but he doesn't know like the species and how to like 100% do things. But he hooked one, and it broke his line because he was distracted. So in a way, this is kind of my vengeance for him. And that thing had the hook in his mouth because it snapped his line. So I just got revenge for my friend. It's the same fish. I can't believe that. What are the odds? Second one today, and it was my friend's fish. And I'm gonna send this to you, my friend. You know who you are. I'm not gonna say your name on here for privacy reasons. And if you don't want to be named out, that's okay. All right, no, that's not a bad fish. Time to rebait and see if I can get a third one. Anyways, I think that's going to conclude today's video. Now, I'm probably just going to fish for a couple minutes for fun, see what I get. But anyways, that's all. Thanks for watching. Bye.